Welcome to April and Debbie Dish the Truth on Weight Loss, where we share the raw, real, and sometimes messy truth about our weight loss journeys.
I am Debbie, a weight loss coach who lost 100 pounds and have been living in maintenance for 4 years.
And I'm April, a weight loss coach, currently down 75 pounds and continuing my weight loss journey.
Together, we'll explore the ups, downs, and everything in between, showing you that lasting weight loss is possible no matter where you are on your path.
Yes. And this week, we are going to talk about our goals and expectations for the holidays.
And you
Because
might be thinking, people, what are we talking about the holidays for? Well, all the stores have all the holiday stuff out. So if they're planning for the holiday, we should start planning for the holiday and how we're going to show up for ourselves.
yes, that's so true. I wasn't even thinking when I talked to Debbie before the podcast started and we were talking about suggestions. And I'm always thinking like Thanksgiving and Christmas and there's Hanukkah and all those things in November and December. And she's like, yeah, and Halloween. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And we go to Disney World every Halloween to celebrate with our friends. And so yes, Halloween is like for us, I guess, the first big holiday.
It is. And what comes into your mind other than pumpkins, maybe? What is the next thing that might come into your mind when you think Halloween?
For me, pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah,
But I know a lot of us think candy, and candy is part of it too, but I love pumpkin spice lattes.
I have to tell you, I love pumpkin spice lattes too. But I have been realizing how many of them I have been drinking. And sometimes I have multiples a day. And right now, I think this is so interesting. Downloaded, and I had told you about downloading my Fitness Pal. And when I told my daughter, she's like, "You did? That is so against how you lost your weight." And I said, "Again, must not be listening to the podcast, daughter, because we're all about living our lives and losing weight how it feels right for us." And so, in where I am right now, I'm counting calories and watching my macros because now I know what they are. And those pumpkin spice lattes eat up a big chunk of our day, as
Mhm.
would the Halloween candy, those little bite-sized candies. They might be bite-sized, but when we're eating multiple, they're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bite-sized anymore.
I and it's true. We all choose ways that work for us and feel good to us. And I took a break from counting calories and I lost I think 60 of the 75, not counting calories. So it's absolutely possible to lose weight without counting calories and pay attention. And that's how I did become more in tune with my hunger and what that felt like and what enough like before I got too full. And now I'm at a place where I want to incorporate both of those things. I still pay attention
Mhm.
to hunger and eating to enough where I'm not too full, but it macros has helped me a lot with learning about protein and how much that genuinely has helped me with um, urges and my hunger and enough because I'm satiated and I'm not constantly looking for a fix to feel better or have more energy or any of that. But that's not what the subject is
I
necessarily.
know, I'm sorry, I went
But
totally up, but it came to the
no, but
calories.
it's a good point because it's a tool. Even if you aren't necessarily, if you're open to it, it is a tool that can be used during this time if you choose to maintain or you choose, you're like, hey, I'm okay gaining 2 or 3 pounds. You can see what that would look like. You can see how you would incorporate a latte or two if you wanted full fat, if you didn't want to make the changes, or if you wanted just one full fat and one not, however you want to navigate it. For me, I have found it gives me much more room to see how my day would look. I start my day planning it protein focused, and then I build around that. So when I have some room for that latte, that's when I fit it in. Sometimes I have the coffee, just coffee with a little cream or, whatever it is. But there's a way to balance what really is important to you. And I think that's a big part especially when we come to Halloween, I think. So we'll talk about Halloween
Mhm.
because that's
Yeah.
first for many of us. Some of you might not celebrate it. And if you don't partake in the festivities of Halloween, that's fine too. Everything we're going to talk about can be used for any event. It can be a birthday, it could be an anniversary, it could be a reunion, like anytime that there's any kind of focus on food, these are things that you can think about, right? So for me, um, when it comes to candy, we don't give out candy because we're not home anymore. But if you're giving out candy, there's so many tips that people have done throughout the years that I've heard. Some people buy candy they don't like, which is super smart. At the same time, I think, well, if I don't like it, are the kids gonna like it?
Right. Yeah.
So I didn't take that path, but I did take the path that when I used to buy the candy, I would put it somewhere else. Like it just wasn't in the main view of my day to day. So it would be like in a back closet, tucked away or whatever. But and then I changed to not giving out candy and I gave out like tattoos and stickers and stuff like that. And I put
Yeah.
them all different little ideas in the bags that they made and tied them up, and that's what I gave out. Um, and they got excited over them, at least the kids that I saw. We didn't really get a whole lot where I used to live, but enough that I had to buy stuff. But I think it's important to this is holidays for me. I think mental rehearsal is so important to any situation in your life that you want to work on with food and how you show up and handle it. But especially because I feel like holidays for a lot of us, not everybody, but for a lot of us take up months of the year, the end cap of the year, where it's also
Right.
the end cap of the year where you want to make progress. Some of us are like, I have 3 to 4 months left. What can I accomplish? That's where you want to sit down and think, okay, so this is what I want to accomplish. How do I want to accomplish it? And still feel like I'm living a life that I enjoy and not feeling like I can't partake in certain things I would want to. So, Debbie, how have you, with maintenance especially, right? How have you navigated that?
Well, and what you finished with just there, I think is the most important part of this. We want to go into the holidays not feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't participate in anything. You talk so often about having the freedom to eat what you want and still lose weight, which is what we all want, right? So, are you going into the holidays thinking, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in the holidays? If you are, I want you to feel how that feels in your body. But I also want you to be realistic because the past doesn't always tell us what's going to help in the or what's going to happen in the future, but we can use the past as a tool to help us be realistic of where we want to go in the future. So if you look back to your past holidays and you see, I've gained 15 pounds from Halloween to the end of the year, is it realistic? And it could be realistic to want to lose 10 pounds, but maybe setting a smaller goal based on what you lost last year, where you want to be this year, so you get to celebrate the success of reaching that goal. So maybe instead of saying, I'm going to lose 10 pounds through the holidays, this year I'm going to maintain. And that's going to be success. Come January 1st, if I've maintained or even lost a pound, that's going to be success. And going into that might feel just a little less pressure packed. So I think that has helped me in the past, setting realistic expectations for myself. And another thing I thought of when you were talking about Thanksgiving, there's so many people I have heard say, oh my gosh, I hate turkey, but I eat it anyway because it's Thanksgiving and I have to. If you don't like turkey, if you don't like mashed potatoes, if there are things that you don't like at Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, and you eat it just because you think you have to, you don't. Eat something else. You don't like turkey? Bring something that's worth having in your body that you like. Don't fill your body with things you think you have to eat. Fill it with what you want to eat. And then you won't want to eat it all. You won't want to overfill because it's normal to enjoy your foods. those are my two suggestions on that.
I love those suggestions. And I also think on the other side of don't eat things you don't want to, which I totally agree with that. Um, Also keep in mind some of us, and I know I'm one of those, only eat certain foods at this time of year,
Yes.
right? A lot, we're not necessarily eating stuffing throughout the year or whatever it might be, pumpkin pie or something like that. So, with the same concept, enjoy it, but
Mm-hmm.
also have a perspective of there's always availability of pumpkin pie,
Mm.
right? And even if you wait until next year, filling up on, let's say you typically eat 3 slices
Yep.
and you don't feel good after you eat 3 slices. And maybe the 3 slices is throughout the day. This is just an extreme to kind of show a point. But so let's say you eat 3 slices of pumpkin pie every year and you end up feeling like crud. And the next day you're not feeling good, you're tired, your stomach's upset, whatever your symptoms are. I'm pretty sure that third piece did not taste as good as the first piece.
Mm-hmm.
But then we go to an extreme where we're like, I'll just have a sliver. I'll just have 2 bites and walk away. And that might be okay. There's all different ways to handle it. You just have to, and this is what Debbie and I always say, really think about how you want to do it, how you want to show up, and what's going to feel good to you. What you're going to leave feeling good with, energized with, not having regrets over, because there can be regrets over just having 2 bites. If you're having one piece of pumpkin pie a year, it's really not going to default the efforts that you've been putting in the rest of the year. But when you shortchange yourself and not have the piece, sometimes we overcompensate by overeating other things. So
100%.
yeah, so really think about these moments and what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy. Don't eat the foods you don't enjoy. Enjoy the foods that you do. And keep in mind leftovers, right? So if you're having a piece on Thanksgiving, take one home, or if it's your house, keep a piece. You could freeze it for the next week. These are all options that it's not just that one day, but if we look at it as a day is not going to negate everything else you've done. So I think we always wrap up so much energy around these special events and they consume our thoughts, we overthink them. But if we think about them in a way to invite, how will I feel good? What will I enjoy? And kind of rehearse that. And when Aunt Sally keeps telling you, have more, whoever she is or he is. So, you know what? I'm really good right now. But if you don't mind, I'd love to take some home. Take it home. Eat it or don't eat it. You could take it home, you could throw it out. Take it home and eat it. Take it home and freeze it. But honor your decision that you've made before you've gone to the event. That
Yeah.
I think is really key. For me, I try my best to think about how I want to handle an event before I go instead of in the moment.
Yeah, and I did that last night. I mean, I went to the store because I wanted a little mini pecan pie and they were all out of them. And I love German chocolate cake, but they only had a big piece. And I said to Kevin, I am not eating this whole thing tonight. Um, and I am going to eat one half of it. And when I got up and got the other half, he had had a piece, so it left just one piece. And I was proud because I had said, I am only eating half. And it wasn't restriction because I was giving myself that half, you know? And so eating the things that we like, practicing how we're going to show up. And you know what? Turkey doesn't come around just once a year. And Kevin and I love Thanksgiving dinner so much. I'm going to give you this little quick hack. We go to the deli, we ask for thick cut turkey, or we go in and buy, they have those, the little breasts or some prepackaged, and we make a Thanksgiving dinner with stuffing and corn and cranberry sauce. It's smaller than the Thanksgiving, but we have it all year long and we love it.
I think that's great. That's also another thing too. If there are foods you really like, nobody says you have to wait until November and December to eat them. Kevin, it's funny that you talk about that because Kevin, my Kevin, smokes meats and he just tried a couple months ago for the first time to smoke turkey tenderloin. And I don't like turkey like that. And this was amazing, just amazing. And I have requested, like, "We're running out of turkey, honey. Time to" So we have made our own little turkey with mashed potatoes and even some stuffing occasionally, whatever. You can have pumpkin pie I love pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin everything. So,
Everything.
um, eh, limiting it to those times, if you don't want to, it helps desensitize it when the time does come, right? Because 'Cause
Right.
you're not telling yourself, "Oh, I never get this." But if it is something like, let's say it's a family member who makes a special dessert that you truly only get once a year, just enjoy the piece. Don't make it such an intense negative thing that you ate a piece. Now, if you're eating more than a serving that feels good to you, that's when you want to start questioning, why am I eating more? Is it because I think I'm never getting it again? Because that's not, it's just not a true statement. Even if it's a special dessert that somebody makes, I'm pretty sure there's a way you could get it again. Whether it's she would give you her recipe, she would make it, or the person would make it for you another time, or however it is. But at the same time, what if it is just once a year? That to me, I was this person who would overeat because, "Oh, I don't get this that often." So I relate to it completely, and through Debbie and I were talking about this on a different subject earlier too, like, it depends where you are in your journey, right? So if you're at a point where you're just starting to tune into how you feel about food and the emotional connections you have to it, and you normally eat 3 pieces of pumpkin pie in the holiday, cutting back to 2 this year, that might be a step up for you, and that's great. Any self-awareness and intentional effort to alter to make yourself feel better in your body is a win and something you can build on. But also, I wanted to comment when you were talking about if you have a goal to lose weight during the holidays versus maintain. And if you're sitting down, you're trying to figure out what that goal, what you want it to be for you, it's important to also ask yourself, what does that signify to me? Right. So if we're in September and there's a few months coming up of a lot of events, what does it mean if you were to lose 5 pounds versus maintain? And you show up in the new year maintaining, but maintaining invited you to be able to have an extra glass of wine or champagne. Doesn't even have to necessarily be food, like whatever connects to the holidays or the events, celebrations for you, because there's New Year's Eve, there's all kinds of stuff. So it's a pressure that we put on ourselves to lose weight at a certain time in a certain time frame. And then we're stressed out through times that we should be enjoying our family and friends, regardless of what we eat. That's like our own journey. But let's also remember why it's so fun, why we look forward to it. The lights, the decorations, the music, the movies, the family or friends, the events, whatever it is, working on focusing on those things will also add to the joy. It's not really all about the food that we tend to make it be.
100%. And if we think about that the year as a whole, like we're going to worry about the holidays, we're going to worry about our New Year's resolutions, we're going to worry about summer starting. Like there
Mhm.
are all these times of the year that these worries come in. So setting ourselves up for them is just so important. And I will tell you, my sister Diane makes rumaki that uh my other sister, and my two brothers, we fight over it like crazy because it is the best. And I know when the holidays come, I am going to overeat on rumaki. And for me, that's okay because it's so good. I am willing to do that because,
So, for whoever else is out there doesn't know, like me, what is rumaki?
oh, you're going to love it. It is chicken livers marinated in like soy sauce and things. And then a water chestnut is placed on it and then wrapped in bacon and cooked, and it is amazing, and it's garlicky,
Wow.
and it's delicious, and for a lot of people, they wouldn't like it, but for our family, we will fight for that last rumaki.
That's a great example, though. That does sound very special, very unique, very once a year, right? So
Yeah,
it reminded me when you said that you already know you're gonna overeat it. That's okay too. It's a moment, it's a day, it's a meal. we put so much on these time frames, right? And it made me think of when I was away on a weekend with my Kevin and his family, and we went to a restaurant, and I got fried scallops, which I never really get,
Mm,
especially because I'm gluten free. It's very rare to have gluten free fried foods that are really safe.
that you can do.
Yes. So it was very exciting and it was very delicious. And I ate all of them. And so the waitress came over and she said, "Anybody for dessert?" I said, "No." I said, "Me finishing my plate was my dessert." And that was true for me. That
Yeah.
dessert doesn't have to, we can think about it different. Like, I just enjoyed it all. I did overeat. I didn't feel sick or anything. It wasn't like that, but I did eat the serving that was given to me and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I don't know if we even ate dinner that night. I can't remember, but that's okay too. Sometimes you might have a bigger meal and then dinner comes and you're like, I'm really still good. That's okay too. There's so many different variables. I think it's just our expectations, once again, that we put on these situations. And Debbie, I love that you pointed out summer, because if we really think back, if we sit back and think about the year, there's not a time of the year that there's not an event or celebration or holiday that somebody might have to be worried about, because you have New Year's, then there's Valentine's Day,
Mhm.
St. Patrick's Day, if you celebrate that. There's probably a whole lot of holidays I'm
Easter.
not thinking of, so please don't take offense if I'm not mentioning your holiday. But the point is, there's probably one in every month. Then there's the
Mhm.
summers, then there's picnics, then there's barbecues. Then you come, you know, so birthdays, anniversaries, weddings. We don't want to stigmatize holidays specifically. That's what I'm thinking at this point, right? We want to look at it like, this is living. How do I want to show up and feel good the next day?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neutralizing it. And I think like
Yeah.
having the turkey all year, like that is
Yeah.
for us a way to neutralize it. And we had talked about that word before. And again, just what we say every single time. Let's do what feels good for us. Have the candy bars at Halloween if you want them. But like April says, practice how you want to show up with those.
Yes. And if you're choosing to have something, really choose it for you. Enjoy it. If you're going to have Snickers bars at Halloween, have a Snickers bar and really enjoy it. And try not to feel guilty after, because when we allow guilt to come in, first of all, it's sucking the joy out of what we had, right? So
Yeah.
now what was the point? Then it's going to slow down our progress to move forward, because now we have these guilt and shame feelings to deal with. If
Yeah.
we're just like, hey, it was Halloween, I had a Snickers bar, it was delicious, moving
No
on,
big deal. Yeah.
and moving on, you know.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I love the moving on because that's it. You had it
Yeah.
and then you just keep going.
Yeah, and so Kevin and I really take a lot of weekend trips. Like, we went away with his family this past weekend. We went away, and there was quite a few a couple of restaurants we went to that, again, I had some. I love sushi, so there was some sushi places that had gluten free items that I don't normally get. This, that, and the other. So I made these choices, but we had breakfast and we ended up having dinner, and throughout the day we weren't hungry for lunch because we were good. We really paid attention to how we were feeling. Were we hungry? You don't always have to eat when it's a designated time, right? There's, especially when we talk, because I talk about macros, so there is a people out there who are like, you have to hit a macro every day or you have to do this. And in the grand scheme, if you are working on that, yes, you do want to try to hit the nutritional points that you're trying to hit so you feel good. But in these circumstances of vacations or getaways or holidays or whatever, flexibility is important too. And if you are
Mhm.
enjoying foods that you normally don't eat, it's super important to be in tune with, am I good? Even your special, how do you say that? I'm gonna have to look this up. What's it called again?
Ramaki. Oh my gosh.
Uramaki. So you're going to overeat it, but there's also a way of, okay, if I know I'm going to say there's, I don't know how it works, but say there's like 10 pieces you're going to have. You could have like three at lunch, three at dinner, three in You can even have
Oh,
for
yes.
breakfast, I'm sure. Like, you
Oh,
don't
I
have to
have.
necessarily eat right, right. So think of all the different ways you can enjoy a choice that you're making, but also keep in mind how you're feeling, and remember there's another meal coming that if you really
Yes.
enjoy something, you can eat it again later, right?
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. So be flexible and, when you like your reasons, it's easier. So find
yes.
like I'm gonna have just like you said, when you were talking, and I hope somebody goes back and watches this, when April was talking about choosing a candy and eating it, enjoying it, and moving on, you could see like there was not like in my, do you know what I mean? Like you didn't look
Yes.
bummed out about that. It was good.
Yeah.
And that's so important.
Yeah. It is important. And also the other things, basic living things, if you keep in mind through these moments, water, sleep, movement, if you can find a way to incorporate these into those moments, that will also be very helpful to you, right? Because one, a lot of these times have higher salt foods that you may not normally eat. So
Mhm.
that water is really going to help you with that. And the sleep is going to keep you rested as well, because holidays, you tend to maybe stay up late or do whatever
Mhm.
else that you don't normally do. And the movement, like when we go, we had a lot of walking this weekend, which was great. But when I go for Thanksgiving specific, I go visit my brother in upstate New York. I always go for a walk in the morning. That's just, it gets me out. I get some fresh air. I get some movement. I feel good. It's not necessarily movement to lose weight, but movement to stay mindful within your body and to just feel good and in a healthier place to make better decisions for yourself, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
gives you a chance to just clear your head, get out there and start your
Yeah.
day where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Intentional.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was great chatting today. If there was anything that struck a chord with you in our conversation, we'd love for you to send us a comment or an email. If you have questions, send us an email or comment. We'd love to talk about what is relevant for you in your journey.
Yeah, definitely write in. I think holidays, special events are always a lot to discuss. So if there's a specific event or a specific question anybody has, our email is April and Debbie Dish the Truth at gmail.com. We also have the Facebook page, April and Debbie Dish the Truth. And this past week, we worked on posting something Monday through Friday to try to keep the topic going. So we really invite anybody who listens to email or check out the Facebook, see what we're posting during the week, add anything, add questions, anything like that. We would love to see it.
That sounds great. Have a great week, everybody. And from my heart to your journey, keep blooming.
Yes. And as always, remember to wake up willing to do something that feels good to you.
Have a great day.
Bye.